What's going on, Modern Chodes? It's your boy Long Neil, back again with another new video, and in today's video we're going over the hot post from r/EntitledParents. Let's get into it. This first story is called Single Mom at Costco. So as you all know, people are freaking out about the coronavirus, so they're doing everything they can to get their hands on supplies to last the quarantine. My family decided that we were going to try to go to Costco today to get preparations for a couple weeks of dinners and some other home essentials, like most others are doing. As we're walking around and picking up the supplies we need, I started to notice that the store was basically in chaos. People were hoarding items such as toilet paper. Although Costco has limited the amount of rolls a single person can buy at a time, there were a few people bickering back and forth about items, etc. It was kind of funny to see people acting so immature in a time to panic. My family and I took our groceries to the checkout line, as you do, and stood behind some woman and her two children. I bet this is where it gets good. My dad and I started chuckling together about how much of a madhouse the grocery store was when the woman standing in front of us whipped around and started shouting at us to keep our germs to ourselves. She had a stick up her butt about us being too close to her and her two children and how we were spreading our germs. It was a bit strange, but understandable, I suppose. When the woman in front of us finally got to the checkout counter, she started unpacking a good 10 to 15 packs of toilet paper as well as her other food groceries to be scanned. As I mentioned earlier, Costco had put a limit of 1 pack of toilet paper per person, which meant that this woman would have to put all but 1 pack back where she found them. The cashier mentions this fact to the woman, and she replies by saying, "Well, I'm a single mom, and I need these toilet paper rolls for my family, so we don't have to come back out and get sick once the virus spreads more." To which the cashier replied, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but being a single mom doesn't have any impact on the limit, so I'm going to have to ask you to please put the excess toilet paper rolls back." This woman was not having it. She had the audacity to start yelling at the cashier about how he should be respecting her because she works her butt off to maintain the peace of her family because her cheating, lying husband took all of her money when they divorced. While this is all going on, the line was getting very long and people were getting impatient. So the cashier calmly tells her to either pay and take her groceries, not including the toilet paper, or to get out of line. The woman reluctantly agrees and proceeds to hand the cashier her card. Before the cashier can complete the transaction, the woman asks the cashier if she can have a discount because she's a single mom and can't afford everything she put in her cart. Now, I had been standing in line for a good 20 minutes now, and this really got in my nerves. I don't understand why people are so uncooperative, especially about things like this. Edit to those in the comments. No, she did not get a discount. Good, and I hope she had to put every single toilet paper roll back, because this excessive toilet paper roll buying is why we have a shortage. If everybody just bought what they needed, then we wouldn't have a shortage. And I also hate when people beg and complain about stuff that they're in the wrong about and get a discount for their troubles, when really they're the one that caused the troubles in the first place. This one's called Don't Dress Like That in Front of My Kids. Just another story about my boyfriend's crazy entitled aunt and cousin. This happened in the summer of 2018. You know the aunt from this post and the cousin from this one. My boyfriend Cyrus, name changed, and I were on our way to a dinner party and stopped by at his parents' home because he needed to drop off something his dad had asked for. As he went to see his dad in the study, I parked the car and then went in to wait in the living room. His mom greeted me with her usual warmth. His aunt and cousin, along with the cousin's gaggle of children, were there too. Gaggle of children. Cousin greeted me, then gave me a once-over and whispered something to her mom, i.e. Cyrus's aunt. They waited until Cyrus's mom had left the room before the aunt said to me, "You know, you really shouldn't dress like that in front of children. It's a bad influence on them." Me, "What do you mean, dress like that? We're going to a dinner party. I'm dressed appropriately." I was wearing a black, one-shoulder pencil dress. Cousin, "Well, your legs are exposed. I don't want my kids to think that it's okay for a woman to dress this way. You should go home and change, or at the very least, go outside and wait in your car." I'm 5'8" and have long legs, but my outfit really wasn't showing a lot of skin. Certainly not enough to warrant this kind of a reaction. Besides, her kids were playing at the other side of the room and didn't pay attention to me, so I have no idea why she was acting this way. Me sarcastically, "Dang it, I knew I should have just worn the bikini." "Aunt, do you think you're funny?" "I think she's funny." As they were babbling, Cyrus entered the living room. They didn't see him. He had heard what they were saying and clearly didn't like what he heard. Aunt and cousin never talked smack in front of him as he has chewed them out in the past. He asked why aunt and cousin couldn't dress better. Do they really think it was okay for cousin's kids to see them dressed in tacky saris? They probably should go home and change. When they acted indignant, he simply asked, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you feel insulted that someone is commenting on the way you dress?" They obviously had no answer. Cousin gave me one last angry look as they were leaving, and I gave her a smile. Oh, I'm glad, dude. They pointed out and made them realize how dumb they sound complaining about what somebody else wears. And oh, by the way, the kids would have never noticed what she was wearing if you didn't draw attention to it. Because guess what? They didn't care what she was wearing. You did. I don't owe your daughter my things. So a little backstory. I, female 20, live with my boyfriend, male 23, at his mother's house because I got kicked out and we couldn't get an apartment with our no credit at the time. His mother is a whole other ball of wax. This story is about his sister. His sister has a 5-year-old. She acts like a 3-year-old and has been poorly raised, and it's quite obvious. She is always over, so I get to see firsthand how this mother chooses to raise her kid. It's mostly, I'm gonna watch whatever I want to do, and you need to go in the other room and bother someone else because I don't want to deal with it. My boyfriend cleaned out our car and put his beach hat in the garage because he was in a hurry. Little girl went into the garage and saw the hat and wanted to play with it. So my boyfriend's dad asked if she could. I said for the day I didn't care, but I would be putting it in my closet soon because I need it for the summer and I don't want it broken. She ruins everything. So she plays with it. I thought it was cute. She likes it so much. However, she ripped a part of it. I understood because she's a kid. However, to keep her from getting more damage, when she went home, I snuck it back into my room. The next day, I get an angry mother knocking on my bedroom door saying, how dare I take the hat back, and that if I'm not using it, I owe it to her daughter to let her play with it. I simply laughed and said I don't owe her anything and that I wouldn't be letting her play with it again since she ripped a corner of it. Her mom went nuts talking about how rude I am for stealing your daughter's childhood over a hat. I told her to go buy one for her, and then of course she says, you need to buy her one. Since you're the one who's taking it away from her, you owe her another. I laughed again and told her that I would not be buying a hat for her daughter and that I don't owe either of them anything. I can't believe that over something so small she's freaking out. It's my stuff at the end of the day. I don't care or like that little girl, and neither does my boyfriend. We only deal with her because we live there. The fact that over something so small means that I'm ruining this little girl's childhood, well, that sucks. I don't want my stuff ruined. I don't need to have my stuff ruined just because she wants to play with it. This hat was handmade by my grandmother. I can't just go get another one. People appall me. Yeah, they really do appall me. Everyone feels entitled to your stuff, but the second it comes to you asking if you can borrow something of theirs, they go, no, you can't. All right, Mater Chodes, that's it for the hot post from r/EntitledParents. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, and share this video with your friends. Till next time, peace.